Well, I'm John Koethe, spelled Koethe, but for some reason pronounced Katie. And I won the Kingsley Tufts Award in 1998 for a book called Falling Water. Because I was out at a poetry read. It was a Saturday night, and I got home rather late. It wasn't, I was hearing some other poets read, and there was a party afterwards. So I got home, it was late, and there was a message on my answering machine from Jack Miles telling me that I'd received this award, which I thought was just astonishing. I mean, it was so much money and such an honor. So I took myself out to dinner at a very good French restaurant near where I live in Milwaukee. And of course I called a lot of people to share this good fortune with. And of course it helped me professionally enormously, because then I became much better known than I'd been before. I mean, my previous book had gotten wonderful reviews, but I'm not really, wasn't and never have been really in what's called the poetry business, being a philosopher. So it really did make me much more visible and known among the poetry reading public, such as it is. I mean, I love philosophy, but I always thought of that as just a very gratifying career, whereas I really thought of poetry as more my vocation. You know, I'm a perfectly respectable philosopher, but certainly not a celebrity, an academic celebrity. But so I guess it just sort of reinforced my sense that poetry was really what I wanted to do, and it certainly prevented me from getting discouraged at you know, where this was going. Well, I think it's quite a wonderful award, and actually, if you know, there are I think there are probably 6 major poetry book awards, and I think the Kingsley Tufts Award probably, if you look at it over the last 20 years, has the best you know, track record. I think it's probably the most consistently solid of these awards, which is, you know, so it's gratifying to be, you know, among them. This is the first poem in the book, and it's kind of a memory poem about the 50s, and you know, going to school and seeing the new cars in the fall at the showrooms, and you know, the space age was just dawning and so on. It's called From the Porch. The stores were bright and not too far from home. The school was only half a mile from downtown, a few blocks from the Oldsmobile dealer. In the sky, the airplanes came in low towards Lindbergh Field, passing overhead with a roar that shook the windows. How inert the earth must look from far away. The morning mail, the fantasies, the individual days too intimate to see, no matter how you tried. The photos in the album of the young man leaving home. Yet there was always time to visit them again in a roundabout way, like the figures in the stars, or a life traced back to its imaginary source in an adolescent reverie, a forgotten book. As though one's childhood were a small Midwestern town some 40 years ago, before the elm trees died. September was a modern classroom in the latest cars that made a sort of futuristic dream, circa 1955. The earth was still encircled. You could set your course on the day after tomorrow. And children fell asleep to the lullaby of people murmuring softly in the kitchen, while a breeze rustled the pages of Life magazine and the wicker chairs stood empty on the screened-in porch.